But when I came as a leader, when I aspired, I identified a problem. I didn't only come from Buru that I need to become a leader, but as I was living in the community, there was a problem in the community. Which problem I identified? The first problem I identified in the community was one, high rate of crime. High rate of crime. As being a born of a ghetto, grown up from the ghetto, I realized crime rate was very, very high. Two, youth unemployment was also one of them. I actually aspired to address these challenges. I was like...
Maybe Oshino, just as we keep this discussion going on here, you just mentioned something about crime, and I know you've been doing something in a very innovative way, trying to fight crime using sports, and that is boxing. And how have you been able to do this? As a councillor, we know the challenges councillors face and all these things that are happening right over here. So how did you decide to prioritize and zero down on sports, that is boxing, to make sure that the youth get themselves actively involved and this crime, to some extent, at some point, keeps on coming down?
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, when I was given the position in the office, since I identified the crime as one of the issues that are needed to be addressed, but without creating a platform, you will not address crime. The first thing is to create a platform. The platform I created was the boxing project. First of all, why was it created? It was created actually to listen to the youths, to remove the youth on the streets, to empower them, to educate them, actually to give them responsibility on how responsible they are to the society. When I brought the youth from the streets, they were able to tell me their challenges. You see, most of these youths, some parents died at a tender age. They couldn't go to school. A lot of things happened with these youths outside. When I told them, why do you involve in criminal activities, they started explaining to me poverty, lack of school fees, and they also wanted to look good like others, so it became so hard. I told them, boxing will change you. Boxing will change you, and I'm so glad that when some of them came to boxing and they did it with a vision to actually to explore, and they explored. People like Sauda Muhammad, who is currently in South Africa, a girl from here, Diofe. People like Ike Arafa, who is doing journalism somewhere here through boxing. People like Ama Amoku Innocent, he's a Madi, he's right now in Nigeria, he's in UPDF. People like Aziz Ringo, who currently recently collected a medal, belt, and it is it is the first of its kind that when someone from Marua, maybe West Nile side, has collected belt within Uganda from boxing. There are people who have been collecting belt, people like Farouk Dako, Malengomu, this side that have been collecting belt. But in our regime, it has so far been Aziz Ringo who has put the face of West Nile or Arua City on the map of boxing. And when you bring these people, and these people right now, when you see them, they are now earning through boxing. Every month when they fight, they are being paid 500,000. You see how boxing pays, and their fight is all in 9 minutes. In 9 minutes, 3 rounds, you are paid 500,000 shillings, and meaning that sports is an economical viable. And when I collected these boys from the streets, most of the ghetto boys came on the streets. After listening to them, I was able to understand their challenges. And out of all these ghetto boys I collected from the street, I was able to take 137 to vocational school, including the including the ghetto president, Zarome Mundele.
Now,
I picked him. Yeah.
You have undeniably done something, tremendous with the youth, and you've mentioned, I've seen some aspect of money coming in. Now, talking about the money and the sports you're doing, we mentioned earlier how there's really very little money, allocated to fund these co-curricular activities. That includes the boxing that you're doing and other sports. Now, as a leader, of course, most of these things I want to believe you've done in your own capacity, and also other organizations that have come, as a social corporate, support. So what would you say, what really is the challenge? Why aren't we allocating more funds to support such things? And then also, what can be done, you know, because we have already told us there could really be a future in this. Not only are we fighting crime, but we're empowering the young people and we're building the economy.
Thank you very much. You see, the problem of Arua is actually leadership. Arua has very big leadership gap. As a leader, I'm able to say this. Why a leadership gap is we leaders have been elected in the office, we tend to ignore certain categories of people. The category of people we actually ignore most are the youths. And you see, the youths are the majority. And when we reached the office, we realized the budget for youth was not sustainable enough to actually support all the youth activities. And the first thing in the office, what we did was we realized there was high rate of corruption in Arua City. High rate of corruption in Arua City. The first thing we started was by fighting